Ronny show. Oh, hello everyone. You know how excited I am to be here tonight? Well, seeing that this is a family show, I've decided I'm going to talk a little bit about my family. Now, I am married to the most beautiful wife, and I have two wonderful, wonderful boys. Oh, by the way, do you know how uncomfortable it is when your neighbor's kids look like you? Well, luckily my wife is not too smart. No, really, she's not smart at all. The other day, I said to her, our kids are spoiled. You know what she said? She said, no, all kids smell that way. My wife is very negative. No, really, she is. The other day, I remembered the car seat, I remembered the stroller, even the diaper bag. Yet, she still can't stop talking about how I forgot the baby. Oh, my wife told me she saw an elephant on the way to work. I said, how did you know he was on his way to work? Now I dated my wife in the 90s. In the 90s, there weren't anything like a drooling emoji. No, nothing like that. You actually had to show up at a girl's door and actually drool. When me and my wife first got married, we were very, very poor. We could only listen to Simon or Garfunkel. Now my wife and I, we were very happy for 20 years. And then we met. I read in a magazine that 4,153,237 people got married last year. Now, not to cause any trouble, but shouldn't that be an even number? Oh, my wife just found out this morning that I replaced our bed with a trampoline. She hit the roof. She went to go see the doctor. The doctor told her she's no longer allowed to touch anything alcoholic. Now my wife wants a divorce. It's probably no wonder because people keep asking me, Ronny, are you drunk? And I keep saying, stop asking me if I'm drunk. I am not drunk. Who in their right mind would name their kid drunk? After my wife asked for a divorce, I tried to make up. I went to her and said, honey, what would you like for Christmas? She said, nothing would make me happier than a diamond necklace. So I bought her nothing. She said to me the other day, Ronny, I look fat. Please give me a compliment. So I said, you got perfect eyesight. I asked my wife, does she ever fantasize about me? She said yes. She fantasizes about me taking out the trash, mowing the lawn, doing the dishes all the time. So I was wondering if my wife is dissatisfied with my body. And a little part of me said yes. The other day my wife asked me, are you even listening to me? Which is really a weird way to start a conversation. It's now been raining for 3 days non-stop. My wife is in depression. She's just standing there looking through the window. You know, if it doesn't stop raining tomorrow, I suppose I'll have to let her in. But I must say one thing about my wife. She dresses to kill, but she also cooks that way. My wife said, I've only got 2 faults. I don't listen and something else. I asked my wife where she wanted to go for our anniversary. She said somewhere she's never been before. So I suggested the kitchen. I was on the bus the other day and the person next to me didn't stop talking loudly the entire journey. Eventually, I was starting regretting marrying her. Now my wife says that all men are idiots and she married their king. Well, at least my wife and I share a sense of humor. No, we have to. She doesn't have one. You know, for my wife's birthday, I bought her a fridge freezer. Now I know it's nothing much, but you should have seen her face light up when she opened the door. I accidentally handed her the glue stick instead of the lipstick, while she's still not talking to me. Now my wife writes me notes. The one read, sex is better on vacation. But I must admit, that wasn't a very nice postcard to receive. Now my 2 boys, the one is a baby and the other one is 6. And he asked me the other day, Daddy, how much does it cost to get married? I said, I don't know, I'm still paying. The other day, I was washing the car with my son, and 5 minutes later he said, Daddy, can't you rather use a sponge instead? This morning, he came to me. He said, can I please have a bookmark? I burst into tears. No, really? He's 6 years old and he still doesn't know my name is Ronny. Oh, but I must admit, there's nothing like the joy on my boy's face when he first sees the PlayStation box containing the socks I bought him for Christmas. I do, however, live in constant fear that my son is going to become a famous painter or artist, and I would have thrown away about R1 trillion worth of his work. I must admit, I got quite excited when my son joined the cross-country team at the school. But then I learned they don't cross the country and they're back in a few hours. So I saw a sign that said, watch for children, and I thought to myself, that sounds like a pretty fair trade. But seriously, how do people lose their kids in malls? Any tips will be greatly appreciated. You know, I child-proofed the house, but they still get in. Oh, and do you know, what do you call a large group of other people's children? You call it a nope. Last week, I cooked pancakes for breakfast. I was quite thrilled, but my son was not. Apparently, pancakes was his favorite rabbit. I saw on the news that British scientists have demonstrated that cigarettes can harm your children. Well, fair enough. I'll just have to use an ashtray from now on. My son asked me, how do stars die? I said, normally an overdose. Now, I haven't spoken to my wife in about 18 months, but only because I don't want to interrupt her. But remember, every time you do talk to your wife, you should keep in mind, this conversation will be recorded for training and quality purposes. I should really start paying closer attention to stuff. I learned today that my wife and I have separate names for the family cat. Oh, I had my credit card stolen the other day, but I didn't bother to report it because the thief spends a lot less money than my wife. I was actually thinking about getting a new car for my wife. That would be a great trade, don't you think? Now I always wanted to marry an archaeologist. That way, the older I become, the more interested she'll become. Now, the day I was born, the doctor came out to the waiting room and said to my father, "I'm sorry, sir. We did everything we could, but he still pulled through." Now, since the day I was born, I could never bring a woman into my house. At first, because of the parents, and later, because of the wife. Now, everyone, I want to leave you with this. What is the hardest thing about dating a blind woman? It's getting her husband's voice just right. Bye, everyone. Till we see again.